Before you keep scrolling, stop for a second. Wherever you are right now, whatever year this finds you in, I want to say something that has nothing to do with resolutions or 5-year plans. I want to tell you something simpler, something I think you have needed to hear for a while. I want to ask you something honest. As this year moves forward, what is the story you have been quietly carrying about yourself, the one that plays in the background even when you are not consciously aware of it? Maybe it is that you are behind, that everyone else figured something out that you have not, that time is moving faster than your progress. I want you to notice that story right now, because stories like this rarely get examined, they simply get believed, repeated, and allowed to shape decision after decision without ever being questioned directly. Here is something I want to offer you instead. That story is not fact. It is simply the loudest interpretation your tired mind has settled on, usually built from comparison, from old wounds, from moments that convinced a younger version of you that you were somehow not enough. This does not mean the story is true. It only means it has been repeated so many times that it has started to feel true, and repetition is not the same as accuracy. I want to talk about the specific exhaustion of chasing a version of success that was never actually yours to begin with. So many of us enter each new year with a list of things we are supposed to want, supposed to fix, supposed to finally become, without ever pausing to ask whether those goals actually reflect who we are or simply reflect what we have absorbed from everyone around us. I want to invite you, this year, to slow down long enough to ask that question honestly. What do you actually want, separate from what looks impressive, separate from what would make other people proud, separate from what you have simply gotten used to chasing? I want to talk about the quiet ache of feeling like you have to earn rest, love, and peace before you are allowed to have them. This belief usually forms early, through moments where love or approval felt conditional on being useful, on achieving, on not causing trouble. I want to offer you a different frame this year. Your worth was never something you had to earn, because worth is not a performance metric. It is the baseline condition of being a conscious creature capable of love and effort and hope. I want to talk about the specific comfort of remembering that you are allowed to change your mind, to change direction, to become someone different from who you were even a year ago, without needing to justify that change to anyone. So many of us stay stuck in old versions of ourselves simply because that version is familiar to the people around us. But you are not required to remain consistent with a version of yourself that no longer fits, simply for the comfort of people who like the old, more predictable you. I want to talk about the quiet courage it takes to keep trying after disappointment, to hope again after being let down, to trust again after trust was broken, especially as another year unfolds and old wounds from previous ones have not fully healed yet. This kind of repeated hoping is one of the bravest things a person can do. If you are still hoping for anything, despite everything that has already disappointed you along the way, I want you to recognize that as genuine strength, not naivety. I want to remind you that most of what actually matters in a life is built quietly, through ordinary days, not through single dramatic breakthroughs marked by a new calendar. Change rarely happens the way we imagine it should. It happens through repetition, through small choices stacked one on top of another, mostly invisible in the moment, only becoming visible once you look back after enough time has passed to notice the difference. Whatever you are building right now, even if it does not feel significant today, is one more layer in that slow, quiet construction, regardless of what number the year happens to carry. I want to close by saying something simple. You do not need to wait for some future, more accomplished version of yourself before you are allowed to feel proud of who you are right now. You do not need a new year to give you permission to rest, to be gentle with yourself, to trust that you are doing better than your harshest internal voice usually gives you credit for. You are allowed to be exactly where you are, imperfect, still figuring things out, still healing from things you have not fully processed yet, and still, entirely, worthy of the same patience, respect, and care you so easily offer to everyone else. I want to remind you that you have already survived every difficult season that has come before this one, every hard year you were once certain you could not get through. That track record is real. It is not proof that everything ahead will be easy, but it is proof that you are far more capable than your tired mind usually gives you credit for. So take a breath. Let your shoulders drop from wherever they have been holding tension, and whatever this year still holds for you, Walk into it a little more gently than you walked into the last one, trusting that you are enough, exactly as you are, right now, in this exact, ordinary, entirely real moment. You stayed until this sentence, and I do not think that was an accident.